Welcome, everyone, to episode 6 of the Health and Wealth Podcast. My name is Steve Giordano. I am fired up and honored to be on with you this evening, where tonight I am going to be the lone wolf, the only guest here, and I'm excited about that because what I'm going to be talking about tonight is something that I find that is sometimes overlooked in business in general, as well as at FFL, and I think it's something that's important and something that we need to really focus on, and it's what I like to call running it like a real business. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things tonight centered around how do you start your business, how do you structure yourself so you can have success for yourself in the short term and in the long term. And this goes for just regular business as well, and regular entrepreneurship, and just things that I've learned in my time doing insurance and just learned in my time being quote unquote the business owner. So I hope that you're taking some notes, and I hope that you're going to get a lot out of it. So I kind of want to start here on the mentality that I feel you need to have when you start out at this venture with Family First Life or just business in general. The number one thing I think that people need to really focus on is the mentality of how you need to think differently. Everybody was brought up, for the most part, that gets into this business and in other businesses, not being an entrepreneur. It is an acquired skill and something that you need to really work on to learn. But I feel if you can do it, it's going to lend itself to success for you. So what you need to do starting out would be reaching out to people that are entrepreneurs. Learn what they're doing. Learn some of their best practices. Learn the things that were their failures. And I think it's important to understand their failures, because probably the biggest pitfall that I see in agents that start out is they get really, really fired up about what we talk about in the way of issue paid numbers, bonuses, overrides, passive income, all of the we'll call it the 7 ways that people make money at Family First Life. They get really fired up about that, but they don't get fired up about the losses, the risks, the things that are going to be very, very uncomfortable. And that's why a lot of people bow out, and a lot of agents kind of go in that witness protection program because they just mentally can't handle it. And that's a problem, because although we do a tremendous job communicating the amazing positives that there are, and if you work and you do this business and you do it right, the sky's the limit for you. However, you need to learn to love and embrace failure. Because if you don't embrace failure, you'll never succeed. The people that have massive success in life, look at athletes, look at business owners, look at people that just are successful. Many times you see their successes. You don't live through their failures. We prop up, as Americans, which is great, we prop up success. We prop up the fact that Michael Jordan is, in my opinion, the greatest basketball player of all time. And of course, going off of, generationally as to when, I was a big basketball fan. But whether you think it's him, LeBron, whomever it is, think back to before Michael. Those guys had failure. Michael Jordan got cut by his high school team. Think about that. A coach saw Michael Jordan and said, I don't think you got it. And you know what? I bet you if you asked him at that point in his life and career, he probably didn't. But that failure created, number one, a burning desire for success. And number two, it created where he wasn't going to allow himself to fail moving forward. And he put in countless hours to get better. Now, to do something like that, being an athlete, you need to have physical ability. Being an entrepreneur or a business owner, the greatest thing about it is you don't have to have physical ability. So there's the side of this where it's your ability that you can make yourself smarter than you are. You can learn more. You can get better each and every day. And you don't have to have this physical talent to be an entrepreneur or do what we do in the way of insurance. And that's a powerful, powerful thing. Now, what people need to understand is the sacrifices and the time and the things that they need to put into this to get better. Nobody was just born saying, I know how to run a business. Nobody was. Unless you had parents that ran businesses and they taught you along the way and what have you. But many, many people are not coming from that cloth and from that background. And it's certainly not the percentage of people that get into Family First Life. If it was 1%, I'd be shocked. So therefore, what do we need to do? We need to seek out information of how we can become great business owners and how we can, number one rule of business, how we can stay in business. Because a lot of people want to get going, but then they don't see, a month in, 2 months in, 3 months in. They don't set their goals correctly. They don't set their finances correctly. They don't set their sacrifices correctly. And they don't set their time management and schedule correctly. And then the next thing you know, you fail. It's very, very easy to fail doing this. Very easy. It's very, very easy to fail in business if you don't give it your all. If I had to guess, and I don't know the statistics, I'll go off of restaurants. The far majority of restaurants fail. And if you've ever watched a show like Bar Rescue, right? What do you see on that show, if anybody who's watched it? You see people that are running businesses that have no business running a business. And that's why they fail, because they didn't seek the knowledge, the training, the understanding, and they just said, hey, I want to go open a restaurant. I worked in that industry. I had times in my life where I said, I might go open a restaurant. And I probably would have had a decent shot from an ability perspective just because I went to culinary school and I went to school for business management. So I knew a little bit of, the nuance of what it takes. Now, I did not have the financial backing, and I also didn't have the, we'll call it the stones, to jump into that because I was just afraid. And I think fear is the other side of this. Fear can kill people starting out at Family First Life. It will kill you. It will kill you in business. It will kill you in life. You have to respect fear, but you need to really look in the eye of fear and say, you know what? I'm going to be okay. Because I know we live in a society, in a world today where you can get the information. All the information that you need to be successful in life and successful in this business is right there in front of your face. You just have to seek the knowledge, go out and find it and talk to people. And, if you're an agent at Family First Life or you're building an agency, befriend people that are doing it. Befriend board members. Befriend top producers. Talk to them. See what they're doing. And what's funny is people ask me what I'm doing. It's nothing all that crazy. It's little tweaks and little things. So we'll start here. I'm going to just cut over. And we were going to look at running it like a real business. So number one, learning to look at money differently, right? So now, looking at money differently. What does that mean? What it means to me is this. It means that previously in your life, you looked at money where it was, I get $100, I hold on to a lot of it, I don't spend it, and then it doesn't really do anything or work for me. Or you're the type of person that I get money, I spend it on things that won't make me money. I go out and buy items, things. And of course, we all have plenty of things that we like to indulge into and that we like to, have. And that's fine. There's a percentage of money for that. But if you look at money the same way in your business that you looked at it as an employee of a business, you're not going to make it. Because it takes money to make money. Now, the vehicle that you're in dictates how much more you can make. So I'll give you this example. So if you're in a vehicle that's not a proven vehicle to win and to grow money 5, 7, and 10 times, you're not going to be in a great place. I'll give you an example. Today I get into live call transfers for the first time in life insurance leads, right? So use a company, live call transfer, and then I spent $200 on those live call transfers. I made $2,400. That'll be deposited in my account in the next couple days. Now, I'm not going to get all fired up and excited because those policies could cancel and 20% will. So in your brain, what you need to say is, I'm not going to go home and be like, oh, I just made $2,400. Like, I'm cool. I don't need to work the rest of the week. What I need to say is I'm just going to keep it moving because I need to continue to grow that money and invest that money into staff, office, people, more leads, all of the things that we need to invest it in, we'll say in this business. So learning to look at it differently helps you because you need to create an investment vehicle with the money that you make. Now, think about the vehicle we're in. I was literally in my office. 2 people from different states needed life insurance to protect their family. They called into a company off of an ad. It came to me. I spoke with them. I found what their needs were, found what their budget was, found what they could get approved for. And now I'm at a well over 100% comp, and I'm going to get paid out that money, like I said, in 24 to 48 hours, right? That's powerful. So, number one, being in the right vehicle. If you're not at Family First Life and you do insurance, you should be. If you're in another business or another vehicle that doesn't give you the ability to do that, you need to be in a different vehicle. You need to be in this one. All the people, I'm going to give a shout out to everybody I worked with in restaurants, a lot of whom are joining us now. You're not in the right vehicle. I'm sorry. Restaurants are great business. But if you want to sit there and work in that restaurant for the next 25 years and potentially deal with what you just dealt with the first pandemic and how that, rattled the industry, rattled bonuses, rattled the way you work, being short-staffed, being on your feet all day, every day. If you want to sit there and live in that world, you're never going to get ahead. And I challenge you to get out of it, because if you don't, you're going to live in that world forever, and it's going to be very, very hard to get ahead. And hopefully physically you can continue to do it. It beats you up. Nights, weekends, holidays, it's just hard. So, looking at money differently, how do I get the money to work for me? How do I create passive income? How do I create avenues in this system that we have here to take my money to the next level, right? All right, so now looking at number 2 here, breaking the broke mentality, right? So that's important because broke mentality goes back to looking at money differently. Broke mentality is I'm squeezing every dollar. I'm never spending any money. I'm just squeezing it. It's never growing for me. I'm sitting here and I'm broke and I'm never going to get ahead. The other part of broke mentality is this. If you don't change what you're doing, it's a definition of insanity. If you keep doing it, you're never going to change it. So you need to break that broke mentality. And look, sometimes it can be from family, the way we're raised. It can be, our circle of influence. If you're around a lot of people that aren't making money, like I don't want to say cut them out or completely just not associate with them, but associate with them less and try and educate them on why they need to change and that you're changing, because you don't want to live in that world anymore. And I want to be really clear. When I talk about money and, being broke and breaking that mentality, what we do in this industry and as entrepreneurs, it's not necessarily about the money. What it's about is what the money does. Money allows time and freedom. It's not about I need $5 million to buy 1 million cars and 1 million houses. And look, if that's what you want, God bless you. Nothing wrong with it. But when I talk about that, it's about, for me, and everybody's different, how do I not have to worry about money? I want to work really hard in the right system, which is this, in the right vehicle. I want to work really hard. I want to be able to make great money, to invest it, to create passive income. Because then I buy my time back, and then I'm not in the rat race like I was in the restaurant industry, where I was never going to get ahead. No matter where I moved, no matter what I did, no matter what kind of promotion, I would have never got ahead. I would have been miserable. And I thank the good Lord that I'm not in that scenario anymore every day. My worst day doing insurance beats my best day in restaurants. So put that on record. So, breaking the broke mentality, very, very big, very, very important. The other thing is now how we manage our business and our finances. And this is important, and this is something that I don't think gets spoken about enough. And I'm really, really happy to talk about it. So if you're starting out at Family First Life, what I want everybody to think about is this. Open up a business account. Open up an LLC. Have a business, right? You got licensed. You got contracted with carriers. That's awesome. They're going to deposit you money. But have it go to a business account. That money is not your money. And what I want to think about here is the mentality behind this. If Steve gets deposited $20,000 in his first month, like I did 3 years ago, Steve might go out, take vacation, most money I've ever made, go buy crazy things I don't need. Steve might do that. But Giordano Financial LLC won't. You want to know why? Because Giordano Financial LLC is a business that needs to be funded. Now, from Giordano Financial LLC, Steve is an employee. Steve's going to get paid, and Steve's going to get paid a salary that is reasonable to my cost of living, to paying my mortgage, paying my bills, taking care of my family. And then, yes, as we accumulate, I can increase what I make. So here's how I structure. What I'd say to everybody is set up a business account, get a business credit card if you can. I know not everybody can. Get a business credit card or a business loan. Say to yourself, I'm going to structure my month for leads. I'm not going to go into this saying I have $500 for leads. I have $1,000 for leads. You're going to fail. Okay? I need to go into it and say I have a business set up on credit, so this way I can go spend $1,000 a week on leads for that month, like I did my first month, $4,000. Then I'm going to go to work. I'm going to dial. I'm going to be in an office. I'm going to do all these intangible things that I'm going to talk about to help me, put me in the position of strength to win. So this way, at the end of the month, let's say I wrote $15,000 to $20,000 in premium in that month. If I did that, now when my credit card bill comes in a month, I pay it. And let's say I didn't have a great month, the first thing I'm going to actually think about is my lead spend on that credit card for the next month and how I need to work harder and get better. So then I funded my business, I've paid my business credit card, and then I paid my bills. And I get it. That is scary. That is uncomfortable. But this is more uncomfortable. If I take my last dollars and I try this and I really don't give it what it takes and I fail, I'm done. It's over. I'm out of business. So my point of this would be structure yourself correctly. Set yourself up so you can work off of your business credit and then create your cash flow. Because now let's say you had a good month. If you had a good month, let's say you wrote 20 grand, you get a 9-month advance, you're over 100% commission. Now you not only have paid your business credit card, you've paid for your next set of leads, you're building cash, and you've paid yourself. Now, the next month you do the same thing, and let's say you even increased your lead spend. Obviously, if you increase your lead spend, you're going to make more money. We kind of know that. So if you did that, now the next month, you're now building a stockpile of money in your business account. That's powerful. That's how you're going to create cash flow. That's how you're going to get ahead in this. And I think it's something that we don't necessarily talk about a lot of times, but it's a very, very important thing. So that's how I'm structuring if I'm a new agent. I got to run it like a business. All right, so building a business day one at Family First Life. So this is important because if you think about this, if God forbid something happened to you, you can't walk, you can't run appointments, you can't talk, you can't whatever. You need to be able to have a business to fall back on. So if you're starting this, I know you might not be I don't want to manage people. I don't want a team. I get it. Managing people is hard. I get it. Being broke is hard too. But my point would be this. If you run this and build it like a business, what will end up happening is you'll create passive income. You'll help people that need this opportunity. You'll help more families that need insurance. You'll build a business and create passive income, and then you won't have to run and sell insurance forever. The goal is not to sell insurance forever. The goal is to sell insurance, leverage the money, and then take the money, reinvest it in that leveraging, build a business that will pay you while you're now, quote unquote, we'll say not working, right? Where you don't have to go to the field. You can, help your agents. You can get on calls with them, and you'll be making override income. You'll be making bonus. You'll be getting yourself to an integrity partnership. So if you're not building a business day one, you're missing the boat because the business is going to take you to the next level. Diversifying your lead flow. So now we'll get a little bit more into, the kind of the FFL stuff here. So being diverse in your lead flow, everybody stop falling in love with one lead. They all work. I run instance, I run mortgage. I told you I did live call transfers. Try something. If you don't like it, you're not going to, it's not going to kill you. If it don't work, you don't like it, change it. But diversify your lead flow. Have multiple things coming at you. Be in control. If I'm counting on one thing and it doesn't come in, I'm done. I'm toast. I don't care how good I am, how good I think I am. It doesn't matter. I'm only as good as the lead flow. So being crazy diverse in your lead flow is very, very important. Try different things. But here's what I'll tell you. When I try things, I talk to people that are already doing them. I want to see the level of success. I want to see the percentages. I want to see, what's what. Now, I don't want to overanalyze it, but I do want to know what's going on with it because it's important. And I also want to talk to the person supplying it. I want to talk to the vendor. I want to know what it is that the client's seeing, what's being communicated, all of that stuff. I want that coming to me. So this way, I'm well aware of what I'm getting myself into for the most part. So diversifying your lead flow. Run the correct schedule for success. Now, when you start out, and a lot of people don't have a lot of money, the correct schedule for success is don't stop working until you actually have created enough cash flow to where you can, right? So the number one problem I see is people don't work hard enough. You bought leads. You dialed them, kind of. You didn't get in the office early. You lollygagged in. You didn't run like a real business. And guess what? It's not going to pay you like a real business. Our numbers are ridiculous as a company. Probably do $500 million in life. $1 million producers. I've done over almost 1.2 at this point. I didn't write 1.2 by sitting on my ass. I can tell you that right now. I wrote 1.2 because I sacrificed my time. I ran the right schedule. I got better. I listened to people. I never act like I knew everything. I just meet people where they're at. There's a lot of factors to it, of course. There's the lead flow and all that good stuff. But the bottom line is running the right schedule and working. If you're not working this correctly, like you're not going to win. You know, the guy or girl that's getting up earlier than you, they will win. They will win at this. They will win in life. They just will win. Don't be the person that somebody's smoking, because somebody wants it. Whoever wants it is going to get it. Whoever wants it and puts in the activity that it takes, puts in the, has the wherewithal to persevere through tough times, runs the right schedule, will win. It's as simple as that. So make sure you're that person. We want to see you be that person. If you're on my team, if you're on another team, we want to see you win, man. Like, it's fun seeing other people win. There's a lot of loss in the world. Nobody likes it. People are sick of it. People got railroaded with a pandemic, and then it's another issue, another thing that we had to overcome. We want to see people winning. Winning people are fun. So be the person that wins and run the right schedule for success. Dial when you need to dial. Map out the things you got to do with your family. But don't let things get in the way of your success. I know what my goals are. I knew my goal was going to be write $1 million, and we'll see where we go from there and what my goal is, being board member by the end of the year. I know what my goal is. I also know how hard I got to work for that. I also know that it's going to be exhausting, but I also know that my goals don't care. My goals are my goals, and things aren't, if they're that strong to you and you believe in them enough, you're not going to let things get in the way of them. You're just not. If you let things get in the way of them, you're just not inspired enough by them. And you should probably make new goals. All right, so eliminating emotion. This is a hard one. Hard one for me. So in business, in life, in this business, eliminating emotion. So if I just told you flat out 7 out of 10 people would tell you no, and you just had to come to terms with it, and there's no emotion, and it was just, how do I play the numbers? It would be different than I go to the house and I get upset that Mary didn't buy, and then Bob didn't, and then somebody no-showed me. Like if I told you that stuff, and then I told you at the end of the week you'd have 10 grand because you worked the numbers and ran 30 appointments, you'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But what happens is we're actually in the moment, and I will admit I'm probably the worst person at this, and it's something I'm working on, and it's actually helping me talking about it. Eliminating emotion is highly, highly vital and highly important, because emotion will kill you. The unemotional person will win in business. They just will. Because they always understand, like, there's tomorrow. There's later, there's tomorrow, there's wins, there's losses. But as long as I keep going and keep moving and keep working and keep getting better, I'm going to win. So eliminating emotion is a big one. Do what others won't to achieve what others don't. Kind of touched upon it a little earlier. Somebody wants your spot. Somebody wants what you have in sports, in life, in business. Go above and beyond. It's so worth it. It's so gratifying. When you work really, really hard and then you grab the brass ring and the light at the end of the tunnel, it is so powerful, empowering. It makes you feel good. It gets the emotion, the good emotions going when you can just go above and beyond. So when you want it bad enough, you got to go for it. Take it, claim it, speak it into existence, think it into existence, write it down, but take action. Action works. Action is what takes you to the next level. And finally, becoming a student of the game. So if you're in business at all, if you're doing anything, you need to be a student of what you're doing. You need to learn the traits and characteristics of the top people doing it. I mentioned that earlier. But what it takes mentally, because most businesses, this business especially, it's a mental game. You know, if I run enough appointments, I'm going to see enough people that are going to want insurance. I'm going to be able to fix their problem. That's cool. But if I become a student of the game and I start listening to things and I start talking to people and I start thinking about situations and I start thinking about how could I handle this better? How could I connect with Bob better? How could I find the problem in the home better and best fix it? If I become a student of the game, it's going to make me money. And it's funny. I think a lot of people don't want to spend time learning stuff. You know, they won't go to a convention. They won't go to a conference. They won't, watch stuff on YouTube. They won't do the boot camp. And then they wonder why they don't make a lot of money. Well, you don't make a lot of money because you're not educating yourself. Education, especially in this business and a family first life, leads you to success. It just does. If you want to write more annuities, talk to Sean Ruggiero, read his book, watch his videos. You will, because you're feeding your brain as to how to ask the right questions. That's all it is. It's not that you have to become a whiz of annuities. You need to understand how to ask the right questions. It's the same thing with I want to sell more life insurance. I need to ask better questions. If I can ask better questions, I can find problems, and then I can solve problems. But if I'm not going to learn those things, I'm not going to become that student of the game by not educating myself. So you really need to focus on the education portion, becoming a great student of the game. So this way, you can make more money. Take mass activity and really working hard. Mold it with becoming a student of the game and educating yourself. Fund it with running things like a real business. And now we have a recipe for the greatest baked good ever, which is massive success in this industry. And then share that with other people that are looking for an opportunity. And I honestly think you put all that together, and that's how you'll be able to run it like a real business, have massive success, be happy, have a great life for yourself, and buy back your time. But today it's about what we have to sacrifice to get there. And I think a lot of people need to understand that. They need to embrace that. They need to work this like they would work a real job, and they need to be hard bosses on themselves. If you're not going to be a hard boss on yourself, you're not going to win. Sorry. You're just not. Think of the best bosses you've probably ever had. That probably or teachers. At the time, you just thought they were a pain. But then as you really got a little older, got a little wiser, you're like, there's a reason why. The hardest coaches will coach you hard because they see potential in you. Because they see that you can be more than you are. So embrace that, want that. So I hope this helps somebody. I really am glad to share and to have this podcast and go through some of these things of what I feel help you run like a real business, at FFL as well as in life. And I look forward to seeing everybody's success. Any questions, anything you guys have, reach out, join the team. We are hiring everywhere, all across the country. We have an army of men and women who are joining Health and Wealth, and we're looking to find more because we got a lot of people to help, a lot of families to impact, and a lot of people. So I thank you all for the opportunity, and God bless you all, and I will talk to you next week. Take care.